What is up, everybody? Jeffrey Mizrahi here with the PS Best Friends review of Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Spoiler free. The Lost Legacy could be best described as a mix between Golden Abyss on the Vita and a hypothetical Uncharted 5. What started out as a short single-player DLC quickly turned into a full 7 to 8 hour adventure that is absolutely worth your time. Before going into the game, be prepared. This is an Uncharted game through and through. The cliches are all there. The finding out the thing you were looking for wasn't actually there, then coming up with the real solution on the spot after hearing a non-sequitur by your partner, the same old pattern of shooting segment, climbing segment, cutscene and repeat, hell, even the moving around crates and jumping on them puzzles make an appearance. However, just because they have all been done before doesn't make them any less fun this go around. The game ditches the Nate and Sully bromance for a good cop bad cop duo with Nadine Ross and Chloe Fraser. I've always leaned more towards Chloe over the goody two-shoes Elena, so I was excited to see her get the spotlight in The Lost Legacy. And let me tell you, she absolutely steals the show. Her sly remarks, troubled past, and overall badassery really outshine the lack of personality I found with Nadine. With Nate and Sully, their banter feeds off one another, both allowing them to deliver their own set of quality goofs. With the straight woman and comedian dynamic of Nadine and Chloe, it just kind of left me with half the amount of goofs. There's also a familiar face that makes an appearance later in the game that I did not see coming, but will let you uncover that for yourself. Back to what I was saying about whether or not this is just merely a side story or a full-on sequel, let's talk about the world. The Lost Legacy is absolutely beautiful. Every few years I play a Naughty Dog game, I think to myself, how in the hell do they pull this off? The amount of detail in the environment, the intricacies of these ancient monuments, and the subtle details in the way characters interact in the world are literally unparalleled by any other game. Let's not forget the facial animations that blow me away during every cutscene. The little smirks that one of the characters would do in the background while the other one's talking. You might not notice it, but it really goes a long way to deliver a fully immersive experience. Chloe's story takes place in India, more specifically the Western Ghats. More specifically, only the Western Ghats. Mainline Uncharted games are usually these globe-trotting adventures that drastically switch up the environment several times before the credits roll. However, we never really see any drastic change in environment in The Lost Legacy, besides being outside the ancient city, then being inside the ancient city. I likened it to Golden Abyss in that way, because that game was also just one world, one lush jungle the entire time, which wasn't bad, but it didn't give that whole globe-trotting experience that I was expecting from an Uncharted game. However, what the game does with this world is a real improvement for the series. We got the first taste of an open-world Uncharted game in the Madagascar level of Uncharted 4. But now that idea is fully fleshed out in the Chapter 4 of The Lost Legacy. The game really tells you, go do what you want, you gotta do these 3 things, but choose the order you do them in, choose how thoroughly you want to explore this jungle, find any things you want to do, approach any combat sequence however you want. There are some moments where driving the Jeep around the map felt very clunky, and I felt the open world was never utilized to its full potential. But let me reiterate once more, this game is beautiful. I found the environmental puzzles annoying this time around, but they're pretty much the same as they've always been. I'm not personally a fan of them, so if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you get over them. The game also features an action set piece that is literally a fusion between the train sequence in Uncharted 2 and the RV chase sequence from Uncharted 4, which I found a little odd, but enjoyable nonetheless. Also, The Lost Legacy still suffers from the dynamic dialogue triggers that annoyed me in Uncharted 4. Walking through a doorway would trigger a conversation between Chloe and Nadine that I was in the middle of listening to, and then it'd get abruptly cut off by another dialogue trigger that happened 5 minutes in front of that doorway. So I'm pretty much just walking down this path and they're talking over each other. Maybe I'm walking too fast, but I feel Naughty Dog should be able to figure out a way to fix that. Also included in this $40 package is the entire Uncharted 4's multiplayer suite. This includes the standard PvP modes as well as the PvE survival arena mode added to Uncharted 4. At the end of the day, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy is the perfect way to continue the franchise without Nathan Drake. While the story beats are becoming more and more predictable, it doesn't really hinder this very enjoyable action romp. If you don't already own Uncharted 4, at $40, the amount of content here makes this game a must-buy. However, if you're not interested in the multiplayer or have that multiplayer suite already with Uncharted 4, I'd say this game is a must-rent or wait till on sale at least. And there you have it. This has been Jeffrey Mizrahi. What is your favorite Uncharted game? Do you like Chloe or Drake better? Please comment down below. Also, let us know how we're doing. What other content would you like to see here on PS Best Friends? Remember to subscribe if you like what we're doing here, and to always keep on trucking.